Hello and welcome to Exploring the Holos. Today we have a lot of stuff to do to get ready for travel this season. So let's get to it, and hopefully we can get most of it done in this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share with all your friends that might need this information. And yeah, let's get after it. First of all, we need to install our battery. This is a 200 amp hour battery that I bought a few years ago for $600. You could get a much bigger battery for that price now, but I would have to locate it in a different area, and this does what we need it to do for now. I'm not willing to make the investment on anything until we actually use this camper more. Hopefully this sound is okay. I'm still getting used to setting up this microphone. I tried to turn down the output so it's not quite so loud. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mess around with it a little bit more. Hopefully this is okay though. I will try to adjust that in post when I edit. And yeah, let's look at what we got going here. So I need to get that battery in here, and that way we can open the slide and run the pump and hopefully finish up the de-winterization. I'm excited, guys. Okay, step 2 is done. We got the battery in here. I put a little packing plastic or whatever that I had from when I bought the battery in here to kind of take up the space so it's not moving around. I got a piece of wood in there to kind of space it out on this side. And then it's ratchet strapped down and around through the bottom of this bin. And now we need to hook it up and then put the cover on, and then put this ratchet strap on top of the cover, and then get the lock, because this is a $600 battery and we shouldn't have to take it out for the whole rest of the season. Okay, so we got everything attached here, and what I did, I believe last year, is I bought these Anderson connectors, similar to what we use for our forklifts at work. That way, none of this stuff is powered up, because if you don't have these, even if this is shut off, this is the main disconnect here, even if this is shut off, you're still going to have charging power coming in from the solar panels. That's constantly coming into the battery. So it's much safer to have these. I'm going to connect them right now, and then we should be live, especially as soon as we turn that on. We're going to be getting charged as soon as I plug these in, and we'll have output power. This shuts the battery off from going into the camper. There's nothing shutting off the solar panels from going into the battery. So let's plug this in and see what happens. All right, that's plugged in. Now what I need to do is I'm going to turn this on, and then we're going to get the keys out of the truck and open up the camper and see what the solar charge controller tells us. Oh, I hear the fridge running. Excellent. That's exactly what we want to see. Even though I only put the battery on the charger one time this winter, that is full. I mean, it says it's charging, but I think maybe it can get up to 14.8, but that's pretty much full. So we're going to put out the slide to give us a little bit more room when we do the de-winterize. We're going to close up that fridge so it doesn't just keep running, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Oh, we need to put the cover on the battery yet. Okay, I forgot how much work that was. I'm crawling under there. I want to get this tighter, but I didn't, so we can always address that in the future if it gets to be a problem. I got it locked. Well, that is the finished product right there. So let's move on with the rest of the de-winterization. I need to get a hose out and hook up the water. I may have to go in the basement to turn on. Oh, I do have a hose out here. but that one leaks a lot, so I might just throw that one away. All right, let's get after it. So then you want to hook up your water to the city because we need to make sure that we can pressurize it and there was no leaks over the winter. One thing you always want to make sure is that you have a pressure regulator so you don't blow all your plastic fittings. And I'm not going to go too much into detail with all this stuff. If you want to see a more detailed video, I do have one from when we first got this camper in 2023 called Dewinterizing a NOBO 20.4. I'm just quickly going through what I'm doing today, so hope you enjoy. Now you go through one by one once you got the water turned on and get rid of all this pink, because you don't want to be drinking that or washing your hands with it. Yeah, that's it. Air bubbles. All right, that's good enough. I don't want to fill up the gray tank, so let's do the turlet right away. Okay, what you want to do is make sure you close this. There's going to be air bubbles, and it's spray. If you don't close that lid, it's going to spray all over. So that's probably good enough. Now, when we do hook up the hot water heater, we're going to have to do this again to clear out any more that may be backed into those lines. And when we do that, we're going to check the pump. So we have to fill up a little bit of water. You know, I don't know. Maybe we don't have to do that. Maybe we can just wait till we get to the campground. This is the worst because it's going to get all over me. Ah, Jesus. Ah! God, I'm soaked. Alright. So very interesting and disgusting to see all the bugs that get in here somehow over the winter. I haven't been in here since like October. And that's it. We just got those, so on to the next thing. So here we are at the water heater. This is an anode rod, and it's supposed to keep the calcium and other contaminants from getting in your water. It collects them, and over time this thing wears down. You gotta buy a new one. The last one only lasted like 2 years, and I already had to buy a new one. So I need to get it in here, but as you can see, I need to clean that out first. So let me go do that, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so we're gonna have to take a quick break. I need to go to the hardware store. I'm gonna get a socket that fits on here. That way I can let you know exactly what it takes. And I'm gonna get a wire brush to clean out those threads and get that white stuff out of there, because what I'm doing is apparently not enough. I can barely get these threads started. And what else did I need? I might end up getting a 21mm socket for my truck lugs, because I just found out last week I have no way to get those off. That's good to have when you're traveling. So I'll be back with you in a second.
2 hours later.
All right, I'm back. Yes, it is fun going to the hardware store, but I hate going there because it's always expensive. None of this stuff is cheap, especially going to a little local hardware store like Ace or True Value. But I'd be spending more on gas if I had to go to the big town. This is it. 1 1/16, and I swear I had one of these at some point. You can only get them in a 1/2-inch drive, so I had to buy the adapter for only another $10, which is something I will probably lose. I think that's going to go in my truck because I also got a 21mm to take off my lug nuts. I think that is the same for the F-150 too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But I'm going to finish cleaning out these threads. I did buy one of these. I don't even know how much they charged me for this, but it was the cheapest one. And they had like plastic and metal ones, but you want the brass bristles to not ruin these threads. And just gonna kind of go like this, and hopefully I'll be able to get the anode rod in. Okay, and that's done. So That's as far as I get in. They put a lot of thread tape on there, plumber's tape. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't leak. Yep, on to the next thing. So then we got two switches over here. And the one on the top you can see is kind of pink. I do believe that has some RV antifreeze in it. So we're just gonna make them the opposite, and then instead of bypassing this tank, it will fill up as soon as we turn the water on. What I think I want to do is put some water in the fresh tank and then see, just to make sure the pump works. We do have to switch the pump over, so we will make sure the pump works and that doesn't leak. So I am going to, because I already have the fresh water, the city water hooked up, I'm just going to fill up the hot water heater tank with that water for now. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of fresh water in the freshwater holding tank just to see if that works, because I don't want to have to run any more water into this than I have to. Here we go. All right. Okay, here's a part that I did forget. The first step we were supposed to do when we were doing this dewinterization was to open these drains. So right now, this is fresh water. But we're going to close this. And we should be having everything that's in the tank coming out here. Huh. I don't know. Okay. This should be filling up now. I can't hear anything. Wow, it's amazing in the springtime how much louder it is outside with all the animals, airplanes, dogs, motorcycles. Huh, I really don't. You know what I'm going to do? I think we were supposed to crack open that air valve right here. Ooh, bumblebee. Look at that guy. There we go. We're going to let the air out. Never want to do this when it's hot. Okay, this tells me that I don't have the water on enough, so I'm going to go crank that up a little bit. So as you can see, I had that open and it's definitely full now. I did turn on all the hot waters again in here. One other thing that you're supposed to do that I always forget about because we don't really use it. There's an exterior hookup for this hose. I don't think we're going to worry about it because we're not probably going to use it, but you should hook this hose up to your external port and run the water to make sure you have all that pink stuff out of there too. Putting just enough in to make sure that we don't burn out the pump when we're testing it. Then the next step will be to turn on the propane. Make sure we have propane flowing through the unit I usually turn on the stove. If I can light the stove, that means that you have enough gas coming down to the hot water heater, and then we'll attempt to light the hot water heater and make sure that it works. Then we'll look at maybe making sure that we don't have any gray water or sewer water hanging around the cap of our camper here, so we don't have any unhappy surprises. And I like to always do that because we've had that valve stick open in the past and it's not nice when you get it all over your shoes. So I turned on the gas out there. I'm going to try to light this one. So turn it on to light. You can hear it. Just because you hear it doesn't mean it's there. It's probably air in the lines. I'm going the wrong way. I'm not seeing a spark. All right. Let's try a different one. There we go. There you go. Now we can turn these off and we can try to light the hot water heater. So this still says low, but I know that it's enough for us to at least test things out. So let's turn on this water heater, and it's going to click. It says fault, but it will, I believe, continue to say that, and it'll keep trying. There we go. And the burner kicked on. I don't know if you hear that, but so it is heating. And what I like to do, I already let the oxygen or the air inside of it out. It's a good idea as you heat the water up to once in a while, turn the hot on to get those air bubbles out, because that could make everything explode and turn your hot water heater into a bomb. Now, I already switched over the switch inside there. Inside there is a switch for the water pump. And now I'm going to turn it on. And it does sound like it's quite a bit low, so. Oh my God, I was freaking out because I had a vapor lock or an air lock. That did happen last year. I wasn't sure what to do, and so I had to look it up. All I had to do is turn the faucet on. I turned the faucet on, and then I turned the pump on, and it started to make the correct sound you want to hear, like it sounds like this is the way it's supposed to sound. Well, actually, this is the way it's supposed to sound. But before it had like a high pitch hum because it wasn't pumping any water. So that's all fixed now. I checked hot water. We have hot water, so that's good. I'm starting to get excited. The things that, you worry about all winter when you do this stuff yourself, I don't know, it's like $160 to take it in and have somebody else do it. But then you lose that peace of mind because you're doing it yourself. The more I do it, the more confident I am that I'm not going to screw it up. So this is the second or third time now I've done this myself, and it's worked out great. So everything is done. We can check the valve for the gray tank, and then start to make room for what we got coming next week. Oh, okay. If this goes bad, don't be pissed at me, because I know technically it's not cool to let gray water go on the ground, but this is really my only option. Need to make sure that thing is closed, and I just ran a lot of pink water into it, so this may be bad. Here we go. Oh, tight. All right, here goes something. Oh. Oh. Gross. I do feel like I need a shower. Oh, but yeah, that is... It's just as much brown as it is gray. So, that's actually good. It did hold, so... Yuck. So now what I need to do, I need to move this wheel over. So, as far as I can get without covering that license plate. That black tank flush we hardly ever use. And then we're going to try to fit this big old thing in between the ladder and the wheel. I do have brackets coming, and those won't be here till Tuesday, so I'll have to show you the final, what it looks like when it is attached. Well, I gotta say, I Never expected today to go exactly the way I wanted it to go. I do apologize. This hat is on my head and my glasses are missing. I don't know. I put this on because I can't find my glasses and it's very sunny. It's definitely the nicest day so far here in Wisconsin. Let me show you how this turned out. That is perfect. And I can still get to the black flush, and the license plate can be seen. So I'm going to have that like that. I mean, we're also going to have the brackets that we don't have yet. Those will be coming on Tuesday because I didn't want to pay $16 for shipping and handling. I will wait 5 days longer to get the free shipping. But yeah, thanks for watching. And yeah, we're almost ready to go. I'm really excited. This is going to be fun. I will have more Neogeneon type content coming probably next time. It's something I wanted to study a little bit more, something that really interests me. But yeah, thanks for watching. Be safe. Ad Astra, my friends. There he is, babysitting my parents' dog, Sugar. They're going to the